We do not need more blue jeans. We do not need more 5-pocket raw selvage denim jeans from Japan. And before everybody in the comments crucifies me, just hear me out. We have been seeing an oversaturation in raw selvage denim jeans from Japan for a long time, or not even from Japan, but utilizing Japanese textiles in specific for a while now. But this year, it's an unprecedented amount of all of these brands, small brands, big brands, doing the same freaking thing with the same textile, and we don't need it. It's too much. And what's going to end up happening is the trend of raw selvage denim is going to fall harder than ever. It's going to fall off a cliff, because when things get too popular too quickly, there's almost always a brick wall stop. And the thing is, the Japanese fashion manufacturing industry in specific, as well as Japanese raw selvage denim, is already pretty fragile as it is. Let me put things into perspective for you, right? So from what I understand from all of my friends who own brands in Japan, and from all of my colleagues and people that I know in Japan who work in this industry, they've told me that there are only about 900 or so shuttle looms left that make raw selvage denim from Japan. Now, that's not to say that there aren't other shuttle looms in the world in other places, but the thing with Japan is that since they did it, or I should say popularized it first for a long time now, and they've been doing it arguably the longest in the second renaissance of Japanese raw selvage denim, they have generational talent, knowledge, and experience unlike any other country that is out there right now, because they're just getting into it. But that knowledge and experience is very valuable, which is why Japan's textiles just have a lot more character. They have a lot more advancements with this older vintage machinery than other places do. And this, coupled with their secret recipes and heritage style dyeing techniques, this is why these fabrics are so sought after by brands nowadays. And what disappoints me about this is that so many brands are utilizing the same exact freaking textile and making the same exact freaking product that we don't need. There is about, or at least there was last year, about 1.5 year wait list for any sort of fabric coming from Japan, specifically raw selvage denim fabric coming from Japan, if you wanted something outside of the baseline denim. And this goes for even extremely established brands. I mean, we're talking Naked and Famous, we're talking Left Field NYC. You know, these brands have had countless stop blocks with wait times, and this is only going to get worse as more and more brands are desiring this raw selvage denim fabric from Japan. This is going to create a problem, because not only is it difficult for even Japanese local brands to garner these textiles, but it's going to be harder for brands who have been doing it for a long time, brands who took it upon themselves to popularize this subcategory of men's fashion, being brands like Naked and Famous and Left Field NYC. It's going to be harder for them and make it even longer for them to get their hands on these fabrics. It's insane, and it's only going to get worse and worse. They don't make these shuttle looms anymore, and that is the reason why there is a shuttle loom graveyard in Japan, which hopefully I'll get to visit in a month, where they take pieces from dead machines to repair the newer machines. Now, from what I understand, they don't manufacture these pieces anymore. I don't really know why. They have been using this dead machinery ever since it was brought over from the West, from when Levi's and all of their mills basically shut down and brought their stuff over here, or when they bought it way back when, whatever the history was, because it's all very mixed. There is only a finite amount of raw selvage denim coming from Japan left, and it's only going to make things worse for consumers. Coupled with the tariff situation that is making issues all over the world, it's also due to the fact that the Japanese yen is becoming very weak, and you know, in order to be able to sustain and make a living in Japan, they have to start charging more for what they're selling. And that, combined with the extreme influx of popularity and demand for the specific type of textile, it's only going to get more expensive, because they're going to have to make it more expensive. When there is not enough supply to meet the demand, by default, products are going to rise in price, and that is going to make things even more expensive for us. And it's going to make things even more expensive for the people who have been on this trend. I don't even want to call it a trend, who have been into this fashion category for so long, even before I was on YouTube, even before I was around in the fashion space, dude. There have been people in the raw selvage denim community who have took it upon themselves to fund, to support support, to interact, to build this community when everybody was questioning why we weren't washing our jeans or why we were wearing quote-unquote smelly denim. Now it's trending, and it's going to make it harder for those people who built this industry, both consumers and brand owners, to be able to enjoy this textile. And it's crazy. We don't need more 5-pocket raw selvage denim jeans from Japan, because eventually too what's going to happen is that brands in Japan who built this industry before it even made its way out west or made its way around the world internationally, these brands are going to have a hard time trying to get this denim now, because it's only going to get more expensive for them too. Full Count already raised their prices this month from what I understand, and it's only going to follow suit. I mean, I literally got 2 anonymous tips after the Saving Selvage documentary, which I dropped. I have 2 anonymous tips that told me that this is going to have astronomical changes on the Japanese men's fashion industry, and these are 2, I'm not going to name them by name because, you know, out of respect for Japanese culture and for my friends over in Japan, but these are 2 individuals who own some of the biggest brands that I guarantee 70% at least of you denim heads who are watching this video own jeans from. And they're all telling me the same thing. And this is exactly why I made the Saving Selvage Raw Selvage Denim and Japanese Men's Fashion documentary, which is available for free on my YouTube. Shameless self-plug, but it's an hour and 3-minute long video that talks about this whole issue, in which we take an odyssey or a journey from Tokyo to Yokosuka, Yokosuka to Yokohama, Yokohama to Olawara, from Olawara to Enoshima, from Enoshima to Osaka, from Osaka all the way down to Kojima, Okayama, where I was even able to interview some of these individuals on camera for you guys and tour the TCB Raw Selvage Denim Jeans factory, because my friend Hajime Inoue-san really felt the passion and really understood what my mission was with Saving Selvage, and arguably he was the biggest figurehead in educating me on the truth of what's going on in Japanese raw selvage denim and what's going on in Japanese manufacturing for fashion as a whole. Things are only going to get worse, and honestly, like I said, I don't want to keep seeing the same freaking 5-pocket jean from 50 different brands using the same Japanese raw selvage denim fabric, because it just doesn't make sense and it's wasteful. And it takes away from the culture that I have now become a part of. It takes away from my friends over there. It takes away from the brands that I grew up and loved. And ultimately, it's only going to make it worse for us as consumers, because we, at the end of the day, have to pay for all of it. But anyways, guys, I know this is going to be a largely polarizing video. Let me know you guys' thoughts and let me know your comments. I know some people have differing views. I know some people agree with me. I am open to all of it because I don't have all the answers and I don't always know everything. And sometimes I've said things that you could flip the perspective and also correct me on. It happens all the time and I appreciate that. I want to learn. So please feel free to comment anything and, you know, educate me on what's going on if you have further information that I don't. This is all just based off of stuff that I have been told, seen, and experienced while I was over in Japan, or just every day when I work with these guys, you know what I mean? Again, check out the Saving Selvage documentary. It's an hour long. It's free on YouTube. I made it free, no paywall, no crap. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. If you haven't seen it already, it's basically my life's pride and work. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for almost 19K. We're almost there. And I feel like just a couple of days ago, we were at 18,000, and it's just crazy to see the growth on this channel. So that's why I'm so excited also to announce the release, or I should say eventual release, of my men's fashion magazine that I'm developing for you guys. I'm gonna insert a trailer of the trailer at the end of this video for the magazine. And as I always say, you know, to support the channel, I never really felt like I deserve you guys money for no reason. You know what I mean? I always wanted to provide something tangible for you guys, which is why I never asked for donations at all. But the magazine is going to allow me to give you guys something tangible, something important, while also you guys are able to help support me and help grow the channel. And that is what I am most excited for this year, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. So with that being said, thank you guys again, and I'll see you next week. I always wanted to give you guys something in return, and if I couldn't provide you anything tangible, I didn't want to take you guys money. I didn't feel like I deserved it. But then I had this crazy idea of what if I started a men's fashion and menswear magazine that was built off of everything that we created on the YouTube, on the TikTok, on this new Instagram. I mean, I said it makes so much sense. Modern streetwear, avant-garde, editorial, it's everything we love put together. Everything from the channels that I run, all put into one single place. And that's what excites me about magazine. So yeah guys, with that, I'm happy to announce I'm finally starting my own menswear and men's fashion magazine. And if it flops, then it flops. But if it turns into something big and something that shifts the culture, then we have something huge to be proud of. And I am so thankful to have you guys to be able to support me through it and help shape it, because each and every single one of you has a part to play in the growth and in the life of Menswear Magazine.